Lunch.
You are looking live.
Live at lunch. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
For some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From Rufino's on Highland Road. Welcome to the Friday edition, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott, Barry the bartender. Max Gotro going to join us here in the first segment remotely today as he's working off campus. And we got Bruce Marshall with us today. We got Chris Massaro with us today. We got Troy Macker with us today. Nigel Seeley going to join us today.
He's in Boston.
Yeah.
He's he had to get out the heat.
The match in Boston today is Scotland and Morocco. That's late afternoon.
Reports Sam Adams, spokesperson, said we never seen anything like it. Drank us out of Sam Adams.
They drank Boston out of beer, which
just their beer.
Yeah, right.
You know, there's plenty of others, but
there were pubs that said they drank us basically. We've heard these stories about LSU.
When we went to Dublin, what did we drink?
Jameson.
Well, and
ginger ale.
No. But Guinness.
Yeah.
So I mean, they go to Boston and drinking Sam Adams.
Right.
So and they drink it.
They're a dedicated bunch.
They're drinking.
I mean, they make LSU fans look like teetotalers, and that's why
I don't know about that. No.
I mean, look,
I don't know about that.
LSU fans.
So Derek Stevens at Circa, and we're going to be doing the show in late August for week 0 for their sign up Radio Row there. But Derek Stevens, when they asked him about, they asked him again because a lot of LSU fans are saying like, "Well, y'all got enough beer? Got enough?" You're not going to drink Vegas.
Vegas is like the white whale.
So the World Cup watch parties have been massive. They've really had a push, at Stadium Swim, in the sports book, especially Mexico and other, but a lot of really, just a real summer jolt, out of nowhere. And they were like, "Well, you have it?" He said, he reaffirmed, we will not run out of beer. No, that's not happening at Circa.
USA and Australia at 2:00. They are, be it the fact that the World Cup is in the United States or their big performance in Game 1 or just
Game 1 was a spike.
They are expecting the potential to outdraw television rating wise any NFL game from last year in the regular season.
On a Friday at 3 p.m.
On a Friday
Eastern,
at 3 o'clock Eastern. And so if they do anything close to that, you get the idea of just how many people are going to be watching this thing. And, man, that's a far cry from what the United States had the last time the World Cup was
there. The number one media market, I mean, they got nothing to do. They took the next 2 weeks off.
They're hungover.
So, no, they're ready. I mean, it was a good parade, though, as far as parades go. It looked good. It looked good. It was well organized. I mean, you got a pro like Breen, who's handling it, who was play-by-play for years and years before he got his television gig with you. And he grew up, as a Knicks fan.
And then so it's kind of
it's not like you bring in this radio guy from now you're a Knicks fan. No, he grew up a Knicks fan, too. So.
Max is working off site today, so we're going to bring him in here in this first segment to get us up to date on what's going on at the U.S. Open. Wyndham Clark has a 4-stroke lead at 7 under. He is just a birdie in the last 2 holes. Xander Schauffele is 3 under par, 4 shots off the lead. He's 4 under for the day. He is in second place, and it's kind of a star-studded field of those. There's 13 golfers, under par right now. Schauffele, Morikawa, Matt Fitzpatrick, Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy, all former major winners or multiple major winners, all are under par. Max, the weather seemed to favor the afternoon group just a touch yesterday, and by just a touch I mean massively for the afternoon group. We even saw Dustin Johnson was even on top of the leaderboard for a little while. I thought he had retired. So get us up to date on what's going on at Shinnecock.
Yeah, so you mentioned yesterday the evening wave had played over a shot easier, especially for the guys who went later and later. The wind just kind of hit a wall. It died down in the last couple of hours of play yesterday. And so we did see quite an advantage yesterday. unknown what we'll see today, although it is forecast to die down a little bit as the evening progresses again today. So maybe you'll see an evening out of the splits, right? You're seeing the PM wave yesterday are playing this morning. But what's impressive is Wyndham Clark has been hitting a ton of fairways. In the last 2 holes, 13 and 14, he's missed in the fescue. He's missing the deep stuff, and whether it's sheer luck that he's found a lie or he's just skill in getting it there, he has so far survived it. He birdied 13, made a long putt on the 13 green, and right now hit a very good shot to 12 feet on the 14th hole. So he has been very impressive. And what's crazy about Clark is he's a really good wind player traditionally, or at least over the last couple of years, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. He hits a very high, spinny driver out to the right. Traditionally, somebody who would struggle a little bit in the wind, a guy who hits it higher and a little spinnier. So it's something that he's just able to overcome, perhaps in his time at Oklahoma State. He's used to that wind and can slide a ball a little bit more in this wind. But a leaderboard that you mentioned is pretty star-studded, but also a bunch of guys who just stand out as good wind players. Matt Fitzpatrick, Justin Rose. You think of more traditional English golfers. Colin Morikawa's great iron player. He's a good wind player. We'll see more guys out later this afternoon, but that's something we're looking for. The wind is going to kick up even more tomorrow. It's a little less today than it was yesterday and tomorrow, and that's one of the reasons you're seeing lower scores today. It's playing a shot easier than it did yesterday, and I think part of it is they're keeping the greens slow because they don't want to bake them out to where they can't recover them tomorrow when the wind's going to kick up again.
Max, what is the deal with it? They were really the television coverage. I'm a little confused yesterday, and again, I defer to you, but they were talking about how great of a job the USGA did with the course to try and kind of offset the conditions and things like that. And they caption the wind's still blowing. The wind's still blowing. Like, whoa. Man, don't tell me what I'm not watching. The whole leaderboard, and this thing went on to what, 7:30, about 8:30 Eastern time before they hit the horn, roughly. And so the whole leaderboard was still playing. Obviously, the conditions had lightened up considerably.
Yeah, no, I don't really get what they were getting at there. I mean, it was windy for the first half of the afternoon, but I would say the last 2.5, 3 hours, and there were players who were in that afternoon waves who confirmed this. He said Zach Blair is one of the players who got in, barely finished, I think his 14th or 15th hole, and he mentioned when he got to the turn, the wind just died down. They were ready to get to the teeth of the wind, coming back in, and that's a big thing is direction. The direction has changed a little bit today, so that can be a challenge in that the holes play a lot differently than they did yesterday, even with less wind. When a hole that goes downwind plays into the wind, that's going to be a factor that you've got to consider, and hopefully you've prepared and practiced for that. But yeah, no, it was definitely easier in the afternoon. It statistically shows that, but you could see it in the flags. The fescue was not blowing around as much, and so yes, it was absolutely a wave advantage yesterday for the Thursday afternoon guys, and guys like Wyndham Clark took advantage of that. And you got to give him credit. When the scoring conditions let up in the U.S. Open, you have to get on your front foot. You have to be a little more aggressive. U.S. Open traditionally par is your friend, but when you have it let up like that and the course is set up to kind of protect the golf course from the extreme conditions and keep the golfers out there, I thought based on the wind that was forecasted, we might see a stoppage of play for wind. Now, ultimately, that wind didn't quite show up, but Wyndham Clark took advantage of the easier conditions, and he's still holding on to a 4-shot lead.
More mainstream analogy is, point guards or, quarterbacks. We're taking what the defense allows us. You take it what the course allows us. Yeah, if you're not aggressive at that point, you're not going to be. Max, also, looking at the leaderboard, and you not said star-studded, but aren't we, correct me if I'm wrong here, but we're looking at from the leader from Wyndham Clark down to some T5s. You have past champions. I understand they rotate the different courses, but the style of the course in U.S. Open, boy, it sure seems to mean something, huh? Wyndham Clark, check. He won it when we were up there covering Skeens when they won it, Charlie, up in Omaha. Schauffele, he's got one, right?
Yep.
Morikawa. Yes.
Oh, Schauffele
he won the PGA.
Won the PGA. Okay, my bad. Morikawa.
We talked
McIlroy
earlier about how good Schauffele has been in U.S. Opens. He's a top-end machine here. So, yeah, that's it.
Schauffele, check. Morikawa, check. In the Bay Area, right? McIlroy.
No, that was a PGA as well.
That was a PGA.
That was
too.
a PGA also?
He's
Okay.
won 2, but he won a PGA and a British. I
Well, at least Fitzpatrick won in Boston, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Got that one right. All right. All right.
And
So-
McIlroy's won 1 because he's one of all of them.
Yeah.
Max, what do we
Won
make
as
of?
well.
Yeah,
Okay.
What do we make of Sam Burns' round yesterday? Because when he went in at 71 after dealing with the morning conditions, we thought that was a pretty good score. He tees off today just before 1 o'clock our time.
Well, it's one thing you can kind of – it's hard to do math on this, but when you have a wave advantage and you look at the leaderboard, especially live during the second round, it's a little bit hard to visualize this. But, like, Rory played a great round yesterday. He was in control of his golf ball, and it was super windy. So 1 under par when he got in was a really good score. That changed a little bit when, Wyndham Clark posted 6 under, but Sam Burns is one of those guys who went off in the morning. And so that 1 over par round was very impressive. Even if you look at the data, it's going to be a little misleading because that's giving you the strokes gained for the entire round, but you got to kind of single that out to the conditions that he played in. So, yes, 1 over par yesterday was very impressive. I'm sure he'll be disappointed in bogeying a par 5, the 16th, but that was one of the more difficult holes, par 5s we've ever seen in the U.S. Open, where they couldn't get there they're within 90 yards of the green. So, yeah, I think he's in a good position so far. The big thing about the first round is not taking yourself out of it, and he certainly hasn't done that yet. But if the conditions do let up, if we do see the wind go out a little bit, he's going to probably need to shoot 1 or 2 under par. I think he's got a real chance this evening. So, yeah, I think if he posts a good round, which there's no indications the way he played yesterday they can't do that, then, yeah, I think he's in the mix with anything at even par or under par for the tournament going into Saturday.
The DeChambeau bogeyed that par 5 yesterday. You don't see that very often. He don't bogey very many par 5s, and you could see he was visibly upset with bogeying that par 5 because unless he goes in the water or something, that just doesn't happen to him very often.
No, but that par 5, like I said, I mean, I'll have to look, but it played 0.3 shots over par, which for a par 5 is unheard of. But it was playing straight in the wind, and so nobody was getting it within like 100 yards of the green in 2 shots. So it played like a true par 5, which you just don't see very often.
Anything more for Max? Are we going to let him leave early today? Early dismissal?
Any in-game, live opportunities.
Well, I think you can look certainly at some of these players that haven't gone off. I'm not going to play Burns. Look, I'm still interested in Patrick Reed. I bet him pre-tournament. His odds, unfortunately, are not what they were when I got them. But if you're just looking to play right now, Patrick Reed is 145 to 1. I mean, that's maybe worth a shot, right? You're seeing some of these guys who now he was 2 over, so he's a little bit further back than Burns is. But I look at somebody like that, or maybe even a Tommy Fleetwood. I know he's not known as a closer, but he's 30 to 1. He's traditionally a great win player, and he finished runner-up here before. He shot a final round 63 back in 2018 when Koepka won. So he's shown he can do it at this course in windy conditions, and I think Tommy Fleetwood is somebody at even par who makes a lot of sense at 30 to 1, granted, and that would be his first major victory. So you got to take that into account. But look, Wyndham Clark, it seems kind of sustainable what he's doing, but nevertheless, he's still plus money. He's plus 170 to win. I think if you gave me the field, I'd have to take the field at this point.
Max, you'll be producing Nigel's show right before he jumps on with us. Get us a little bit of a preview on what he's doing besides melting in Texas.
Yeah, he's been riding horses. I want to know if the locals are having some fun with him because they just find it hilarious and they're kind of laughing at him or with him. But he's a great guy. He's funny, so I'm sure they're laughing with him a little bit. But he's good at making a little joke of himself, and so he had a great time in Texas. I know he mentioned already there's a breeze in Boston, which is nice because apparently he didn't have much of a breeze and was kind of sweating quite profusely. But he's got SPF like 100 on, I'm sure, so he'll be fine.
Yes, indeed.
But yeah, no, it's exciting. U.S.-Australia later today at 2 o'clock. The good news is Christian Pulisic seems to be available, according to reports. He might be available. Whether he'll start or not, we'll see. But nevertheless, the fact that he's available is a good sign considering the calf nick that he got in the last match. And it's a hugely important match because Australia won earlier. If the U.S. wins...
Hey, boy, well, look, we know it's important. Who you like? I mean, come on.
I would say I think this is going to be a 2-1 match, U.S. It's hard. I would love to say to take the over, but Australia is a much more defensive team. They're going to sit back, a low block, and put defenders behind the ball. I just don't know the U.S. defense is good enough to keep a clean sheet. So maybe both teams to score is the bet. Yes is minus 115, so it's like, pick them either way. Both teams to score, U.S. and Australia. That would probably be my play for this one. I don't think the U.S. can quite keep a clean sheet.
My soccer angle is a safe one. U.S. will be a little bit more aggressive than South Korea. I mean, they need a shot clock. I mean, South Korea is going to change the damn rules. I mean, they're going to put a shot clock on South Korea.
Goalie didn't make a mistake yesterday. They might still be playing.
No, they don't care about scoring. Thank you, Max. We appreciate it. Talk to you.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, don't forget our friends over here at Rufino's. Our specials today. Happy Father's Day this weekend, huh? We are open for Father's Day. No brunch menu. Our full menu, including all of our featured and appetizers all weekend long, like the beef tips with the house marinade, chimichurri sauce with a gochujang type of cheese. Charlie, smoked Gouda seafood dip, Louisiana shrimp and crawfish, smoked Gouda cheese, Mornay sauce. Best stop on Dewey sausage with tortilla chips. Our entree features is a porterhouse. Dad loves a big 20-ounce beef porterhouse. Millionaire potatoes with tasso butter and asparagus. Suggested wine pairing is a Valvran Sinfandel out of Sonoma. And the Columbia River salmon is our fresh catch. Herb-crusted wild Columbia River salmon. Green beans, duck fat, roasted potatoes with a lemon beurre blanc. Suggested wine pairing is a cake bread Sauvignon Blanc out of Napa Valley. Happy Father's Day.
Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All right, let's go out to California, Las Vegas, Boston, wherever. Saratoga. Chris Massaro, professional sports gambler, with us each and every week at this time. Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Well, Jimmy, last week when I talked to you, I still had life. I still had hope. And it's all went out the window. West Virginia lost. The Spurs lost. Just a little bit of a rough week for your boy here. A little bit of a rough week.
If it's any consolation, nobody else said Oklahoma either. It came from out of nowhere.
Trust me, their path. You're going to beat Georgia Tech in Atlanta. You're going to go to Kansas and beat them, and then you're going to beat Georgia twice. No, this is. But
I watched that Georgia team up close because I had a little bit of a rooting interest for Liberty, and that was an impressive series they had in the first regional on their home field. But I mean that what an offense Georgia had, and Oklahoma kind of stymied them, and I'm surprised as well. I mean that's pretty. I don't know how good Oklahoma baseball has been over the years, but that's a shocker to me.
14-16 in the league, one and done in the SEC tournament, lost their last 4 conference series, and they got 3 freshmen who have started their games in. None of this happens normally. None of it. I mean, completely. As far as Georgia is concerned, I mean, they go from playing at Wrigley when it's blowing out, the total's like 14.5, to go and play with Wrigley when it's blowing in. They just it's. Charlie and I both agree Athens is the biggest launching pad in college baseball, and Charles Schwab in downtown Omaha. Not when the wind's blowing out, and there's no park that plays bigger that's on a college campus that we know. But as for matter, both Charlie and I both like Oklahoma in Game 1 and Oklahoma in the series, both dogs.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. You'd like to get that plus price whenever you can, and why stop with the hot team? Keep riding it, and hopefully you get it done. I don't know if I'm going to be involved in that series, but was just holding out hope that West Virginia could get it done. Their offense. I mean, they just got kind of shell shocked in that that last game. So
yeah,
it was over before it started.
Let me ask you about your stomping grounds in Boston. There were reports that the World Cup fans are drinking out of Sam Adams. Well, what's going on there, huh? I mean, they invaded
Oh,
Fenway.
he imported a whole country of drinkers. The Scots have definitely taken over Boston. They tried to give my Red Sox some life. You know, they've been doing the chants in the stadium. Even yesterday, they had a little bit of a comeback. Down 2-0, down 3-0. They tied at 3-3, and they still can't get it done. I heard a stat yesterday, and we added another loss to it. But the Red Sox are now 1-40 when going down by 2 or more runs this season. One of the most ridiculous stats you're ever going to hear. They have no life as a team. I don't know what's going on with them. Their last 10 games, they're 2-8. In their 8 losses, they've only scored 18 runs. This past series against the Blue Jays, they were swept. They scored 0, 1, and 3 runs. It's just a team with zero life. Their best player, Roman Anthony, doesn't seem to want to play. He has this injury with his hand. Crochet hasn't pitched in a long time. They have nobody you really want to go to the park to watch. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the franchise. I would just hope John Henry would cut the asset. You know, he owns Liverpool, he owns this, he owns that. It just doesn't seem like he really cares about the Red Sox anymore. And with that being said, one of my plays for tonight is I'm going to play under in the game. You have Bryce Miller going for Seattle tonight. The Red Sox, after the day game yesterday, flying across the country to Seattle. I'm not even sure anyone cares about this game. You have the U.S. soccer game also taking place up in Seattle today. So the Red Sox and Mariners will be taking second fiddle to the USA soccer game. You have 2 good pitchers, though, as I mentioned. Bryce Miller, he's been back after injury this year. 6 games, 5 starts, only 6 earned runs in 35 innings, and 4 of the runs have been off home runs. He's got a 1.54 ERA. Good thing for him is the Red Sox don't hit many home runs. You got Ranger Suarez going for the Red Sox, 3.21, 1.17 whip, over 70 innings. So I like under 7. You're going to pay a little juice. I played 122 under. And I also like the Red Sox team total under. You get that spacious ballpark up in Seattle. Red Sox light hitting team. Some of these averages you wouldn't even believe if you actually looked them up. But very, very feeble to say the least. But I like under Red Sox 3.5. I also have to pay a little juice. I played at minus 145, but I don't think the Red Sox are going to put up much of a fight, let alone get 4 runs. So under 3.5 and under in the game 7.
You know, the unbelievable thing with the Red Sox, and they just got swept at home, and that's the deal. And so Fenway, with the extreme dimensions, has been just such a home field advantage for so many years. You adjust your swing, you take advantage of the green monster. You know, he had doubles, and maybe some short home runs there. They're tailor-made. They don't really build for speed when they're roster building because, hence the term, a Fenway approach of base running station to station. Charlie, the worst record at home in Major League Baseball is Colorado Rockies and the San Francisco Giants at 14-20. 14-20. Boston is 12-25 at Fenway. I mean, is this the curse of those damn Dreamsicle? Who are they borrowing these the uniforms from? Is that?
Tampa Bay.
What? Chris.
I'll send Charlie a extra large yellow Red Sox uniform, whatever number he wants. I can just get Hanny on the back, or Charlie, whatever he wants.
That's beautiful.
You can also tell your friends it's a UCLA softball uniform. Yep, it's you can wear it for Halloween. It's unbelievable. And I was talking to buddy Mitch Moss from Beeson, and he was saying that people are coming up to him from Boston that come out to visit, and they're like, can you believe these uniforms? And it's just like, I don't know who likes them. They try to tell you that it's the most hottest selling uniform. I don't
can't be.
It's not the team. It's not your colors. I don't get it. It just
Chris,
drives
what
me nuts.
happened? what happened with this ownership group? Because when they brought them in, they broke the curse. They spent money. They found Theo Epstein.
They beat the Yankees at their own game.
All of that. I mean, this was a plum ownership group when they came in. They rearranged so much stuff and made the Sox winners. What happened?
I think they realized that they can make money without having to win because the ballpark is the asset. They're going to get $25,000 every game, no matter whether they're good or bad. Yeah, they might not get the $38,000 every night, but it doesn't matter because they don't have to pay. They don't have to sign guys to long-term deals. They're automatically going to get it, and they get it from the opposing fans. They get it from the tourists that come in, just like this thing with Scotland. You're getting, 5 or 6,000 people from Scotland just randomly coming to the park. You're going to get the tourists from different cities every year coming in from the summer. Hey, we're going to go to Fenway. We're going to go to this place. We're going to get the Yankee fans that come in, the Cubs fans, the Giants fans who make their, once a year trips to a different ballpark. So they realize that, and it's just an asset that they have, along with Liverpool, along with the Fenway Sports Group. They have the interest in NASCAR, and they're involved in the PGA Tour. They have all these different, parts of their Fenway Sports Group that it's just not their main concern anymore, and it's pathetic. And that's why the majority of the Red Sox fans just want them to sell the team, move on from it, and let's just get back to the fact that you have the highest ticket prices, you have the highest parking, you have the highest concessions. Can we at least have a team that's fun to watch? So at least have someone you want to go to the park to watch. There's not one player on this team that anyone wants to go see.
Well, Charlie, sounds like what I was barking for 30 years with the Cubs. I mean, they're going to see the Superstation. Guys like me are going up there to watch it. They're going for the park. We're going for the Wrigley Field and the Wrigleyville experience. I mean, you don't care about winning.
Correct.
I mean, I loved it the Sosa year. Oh yeah, we lost 7-4. Sosa hit a home run. Let's party. I mean, but the difference is the Cubs fans, and I'm one of them, okay, but the Cubs fans are some of the dumbest fans because they're blind loyalty. They just want to go there. These Red Sox fans care about winning, Chris. That's the difference there. And I would think they would demand and maybe quit showing up if they think that they're not getting a commitment from ownership as far as building a roster.
Well, I think a lot of the people have, but that's another thing. It's just you can't really see it there because so many people from other parts of the country, other parts of the world, other fan bases just do, hey, let's go to Fenway as part of our summer vacation plans, and it just
I got a group in New Orleans that goes every year for a weekend series for 10 of them that goes every year.
Yeah, that's how I went for graduation. Went to Fenway Park. For my college graduation, we got on a plane, went to Fenway. He paid $660 million for the Sox 25 years ago. They're valued at $5 billion, so he can get his return on investment if he wants to put the team up for sale.
But Charlie, was that a real celebration? It took you 12 years to graduate.
Yeah, that's why it was a celebration.
Hey, you mentioned graduation. A friend of mine, their daughter graduated from Northeastern a month ago, and guess where the graduation was? It was at Fenway Park.
There you go.
The revenue stream there is so big. They have 10 or 12 concerts a year. They play the bowl game. It's just all these little different things that don't really mean anything to Red Sox fans, and we all think it's kind of foolish. But other people say, "Hey, it's cool. We can go to a bowl game at Fenway," and they make X amount of dollars. It's just sad that last year was kind of out of nowhere, and it was really cool that they almost, with a really young team, Roman Anthony, they almost knocked off the Yankees and almost made it to the American League Championship game. And instead of building off that, they let Bregman go. Anthony gets hurt, Crochet gets hurt. They signed nobody, and this is what we have.
Well, as far as those UCLA type of uniforms, last time me and Humans were in the Rose Bowl together, Coach Ed Ogeron had a comment about the UCLA uniforms.
It was not positive.
It was not flattering. Maybe they should run it by Coach O of what they think about the alternate
Well, he's back home at LSU now, so he's back home at LSU. You guys can have him on the show. We can have him on the show right after me next week and see what he thinks.
Where are you watching the game at PB before we let you go for the soccer? Is it
I'll probably just be I'll probably just be at Dirty Birds. That's just my regular, or Rockies, one of my regular spots. I am going, though, very patriotic. I'm going to the NASCAR on Sunday. It's at the Coronado road track on the Naval Base in Coronado.
What?
So very, very cool.
That
Friend of
sounds
mine
cool.
had an extra ticket, so I'm gonna be at the road race. The
Oh,
first
I've
ever
seen it all
San
now.
Diego
A
road
NASCAR race in
NASCAR.
Coronado. I've seen it all.
Have a Sam Adams while you're at it.
Chris, good luck to you, buddy. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you.
All right, go get that under in the Red Sox tonight. Have a great night.
Yes, indeed. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title for all your real estate closings. A great team at Legacy Title. Ashley Donald, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Mariana Haynes, Natalie and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds at Legacy Title, 296-0060.
You got Sam Adams here. You want one?
No, Charlie. We're going to finish.
Well,
I'm at 2 o'clock, I will.
Kathy Lee Gifford drinks wine on the Today Show. We can't have a beer?
You calling me Kathy Lee Gifford? You,
I'm just saying.
Why
different rules?
You want me to say something really vulgar and then get us in
Let's go to
trouble.
break.
Yeah.
Live at lunch from Rufino's, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
From Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. Three best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
All right, Troy, World Cup fever, you got it?
100,000%. You know, I'm obviously a college basketball guy. March Madness is my favorite sporting event of the year. I've certainly been doing a lot more work with the Betting Weekly crew here at Bet Rivers, doing a lot more soccer stuff, EPL and everything. But regardless of that, the World Cup is always my second favorite sporting event of the year when it's on. I love it. I love learning about other countries. I love rooting for the home team. I love the World Cup so much, and I'm hooked. I'm 1,000% hooked, even though I hate the start times of the matches. I wish this was in Europe so we could get games at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2 p.m. Let's do this during the day, not in prime time.
Troy, our Bet Rivers colleague, Nigel Sealy, will be with us on in about an hour from now. Have you caught any of Nigel's? And he's melting down in Texas. He was getting onto, I think, downtown Fort Worth in the stockyards. He was riding sort of the mechanical horse in the middle of the road. It looked like a Walmart pony. So you put the kids on it.
I'll tell you, he's made his way to Boston. He's for the Morocco-Scotland match tonight. And he's already lost his voice. I don't know how much he's going to help out the Tartans. I'm not sure if you all have heard, but the Scottish fans have absolutely taken over the Northeast and have won over the hearts of many by drinking Boston dry.
That is unbelievable, huh?
Boston is huge. I mean, look, LSU's drank Auburn or, maybe
Vanderbilt.
Well, that was Nashville. But, yeah, they got into them pretty good. But even Knoxville. But Boston? Man.
Yeah.
It's a big city.
Yeah, yeah. Yes,
Boston
indeed.
Beer Company. You'd figure there's enough Sam Adams to house at least a small UK nation.
The from what I hear, the Sam Adams spokesman says we've seen nothing like it. So,
I'm
so
sure
did
he
they,
hopes
did they
the World
drink
Cup
them out
has
of
some
Sam
love.
Adams in the city of Boston, or was that the Red Sox game? What was it?
There were a few bars where they said, we're out of beer, period. Now, I don't know how many bars, whatever. You drink any bar out of beer. I mean, these people in Boston, they know what they're doing. They know the World Cup's coming. And you drink them out of beer.
My favorite
reputable,
conversation
out of beer.
Was a bar on Cumberland in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I said, look, we're going to bring a crowd. Please, stock up. And we did this. We used to go to Barrett's in Omaha. And after a time, they knew to stock up on Crown Royal in Bud Light. And that was it. And then it became Ultra, and then it became Fireball and whatever. But when we started, and I told the guy, the lady actually, in Knoxville, I said, she goes, sir, Florida comes here every other year.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing. It was a midday show at the time, Troy. We did it. It was 3 p.m. local time. They had run out of all beer in the place on a Friday. Not on Saturday, on a Friday.
Game week.
Yeah, they ran out. So where is the action? I know you guys, summertime, it's not a big, heavy betting, Tom, now that especially with the NBA and the NHL now have concluded their postseasons, but they're getting a lot of creative, especially with the U.S., and I know Bet Rivers is as well. And where's the action? I mean, I guess it's all on the U.S. Tell us give us what's going on with the handle and all the different propositions that are available for the World Cup.
Yeah, right now, it's no surprise, 97% of the money and 89% of the tickets are on the U.S. A little surprised the ticket count. You figure that would be mirroring it. But, I think that has a little bit to do with, potentially Christian Pulisic being banged up with calf injury. Australia pulling off a very impressive 2-0 win over European side Turkey in their first game. And the USA's defense not being all that great. So I'm not surprised, but the USA just garners such a heavy handle that it overrides anything on the other side. The over is very strong, 96% of the money, 95% of the tickets. I said this for the last game against Paraguay, and it will be the same until otherwise noted or mentioned. USA matches, both teams to score yes and over 2.5 goals. It's hit in 7 of their last 8 matches. They can score goals. They can see goals. Their goalkeeper is no good. Their goalkeepers, they may have the worst goalkeeping room in the tournament of the non-minnows, the low majors, so to speak. Defense is susceptible. Australia is a tough out. They always are. They're not, the world's most talented or deep team, but every World Cup, I feel like they pull off a game or two that people didn't expect, whether it's a draw with a couple goals or an outright win. As you'd expect, Fuller and Balogun is our most heavily backed goal scorer. Plus 115 anytime goal score. 41% of the total goal score handle. That's staggering. Pulisic is at 18.7% of the goal score handle. But I think a little bit of that has to do with, just the nagging injuries. One of our colleagues, Steve Witt, who's on Nigel's crew, he likes the over on corner kicks in this match at 8.5. And that really is down to pace of play and teams needing it later in the game. So, if an early goal usually offsets that because the team will settle in and not need to press the action as much. We're seeing a lot of 2- and 3-leg same-game parlays in the World Cup. They're very popular, whether it's a team to win or a team double chance. And what double chance is, for those who don't know, is you're essentially picking one team to win or tie. And the odds are much shorter, but, for evenly matched games, they can be a good parlay piece. So, you get a goal total, maybe a team total, over 1.5 for USA. So we're just seeing a lot of action. There's a lot of different ways to attack this, but the way I'm attacking this is overs on goals, potentially overs on USA team total, and both teams to score yes.
You guys are definitely a attacking type of team, huh? I mean, they look like they were, from a novice perspective, I mean, I just can't get over that South Korea game last night, the way they were just parking it. So anyway, currently right now, the three-way at USA is minus 167 at Bet Rivers. Australia plus 400. The tie is plus 350. Speaking of ties, did you guys have any of those that day where it went 4 for 4 ties and people had tied them up all in a parlay?
Yeah, we had like 2, I think. And they were, I can't remember the odds. They were I think they were like 720 to 1 because the Spain Cape Verde odds were staggering. I think it was 13 to 1 on that to be the end of the tie. And yeah, a way some people have attacked this World Cup is just blindly betting both teams to score in each match or the draw. I think it especially with last night's matches, the percentages aren't as good. But there was a point where I think half the matches, at like 9 of 18 matches, had been played to a draw. And draw, you're usually going to get somewhere around 3 to 1 price. And so and we've also, I believe, as before yesterday. So the first full round of games it was 19 of 24 games that both teams would score yes. Usually those prices are around minus 135, maybe 110. So fairly good price for a single bet. So that's another thing. I'm just blindly half unit, but just going on every game the end of the draw, not a parlay, singles, and then every game to go both teams to score yes. Also, we want people to score. We don't want ties, but ties offer very good odds.
Troy, in your area, 3 p.m. Eastern start to this, so work week, people knock it off. Do you expect a lot of watch party and people doing specials and things like that? What's happening in your part of the country for it?
Yeah, Washington, D.C. Is a pretty good soccer city. It's a melting pot, a lot of transients, and for every game there's a massive watch party down in DuPont Circle. It's one of the big circles in the city. I haven't gone to any this year. I went last year, and I went to the USA-England match in 2010, and there was like 7,000 people. It was 116 degrees. It was soaked with beer. There will be a lot going on. People are very excited around here. And more than just USA, because, again, D.C. is such a transient city. There's just a lot. You're hearing a lot of noise. You're seeing a lot of jerseys from different countries, which is great, but certainly a lot of the U.S. And this is a big match. You win this game, and you're essentially won your group.
Yeah.
And then the game against Turkey, who is the toughest opponent in your group, you play in the third match, and you don't really need that. You just can't get blown out. You can't lose 5-0, and then Turkey, if they win tonight, potentially edges you. But a win tonight would put you in a very, very favorable position. I don't discount Australia, but the one other thing I will say, I'm a bit confused by the 3 p.m. start time, especially in Seattle, Washington. That's a noon start time. That is not advantageous for USA or any team to play at noon. Not a lot of soccer teams play at noon. And also, why wouldn't they put it in prime time? Betting handle is going to be bigger for prime time. You get longer, opening for people to bet. And so, I don't know if this handle will be as big as the Paraguay one, just because the build-up was bigger, and we had 6 more hours to bet on it.
Yeah, Mexico is playing at local time at 6 p.m. last night. You would think something like that. We've discussed it a lot. The only thing we can figure it out is that maybe they didn't anticipate the U.S. maybe being this good. But still, even in your home country, that's a fail. There's no doubt about that. Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Macher, MACHIR. Very good, Troy. We will talk to you, including recapping U.S. Open, the World Cup, and the other stuff that is going on. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you, Troy.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Charlie, Father's Day this weekend, huh?
Yeah, the Thibodeau store has got you covered if you are looking for a last-minute gift. Power tools, hand tools, or tool specials on the website, thethibodeaustore.com. You go down Highway 70 in Pierre Park, or also 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau. It's an easy drive. Outdoor cooking equipment from your smaller grills and griddles all the way up to your big green egg cookers and all the accessories. If you want to do something like, tell me when you went down there what you bought to go with.
A little bit of everything.
With your green egg cooker.
The attachments,
yeah.
the gadgets. I mean, from a cleaner to electric charcoal starter to spatulas and tongs and mittens, to pull off an indirect heat plate. Yeah, and the charcoal itself. The green egg, brand charcoal doesn't crackle as much as spark all over when you're trying to light it.
Custom-made cypress furniture, fishing equipment, outdoor patio furniture, and poolside furniture. All of these available at all 4 sites in both Pierre Part and the Thibodeau store, as well as LaRose and Lockport. Get online right now. Too late for delivery for Father's Day, but anything that's on the website can be picked up same day at any of these locations. Check them out, all 4 locations. Go to the same website at thethibodeaustore.com. Live at Rufino's. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net, brought to you by Supreme Rice, celebrating 90 years in business here in 2026. Supporting our Louisiana farmers, go to SupremeRice.com. When we went to break, Wyndham Clark had a 5-stroke lead. As we come back from break, Wyndham Clark has a 3-stroke lead. Xander Schauffele birdie number 6, which is he's playing the front 9 second today. He's got 3 holes to go. He is 3 under par, and Clark just bogeyed his second hole of the day or his second bogey of the day at number 16. He's playing him in the right order. He's 6 under par for the tournament. So Wyndham Clark at 6 under, Schauffele at 3 under, Colin Morikawa, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Sam Stevens, who is yet to tee off today, all at 2 under par. Only 11 golfers are in red numbers right now at Shinnecock. Sam Burns, if you're wondering about him, shot 1 over yesterday. He tees off at 12:51 today. So, Jimmy, we literally just talking about this going to break. It's like, did Wyndham Clark win this tournament on Friday afternoon with a 5-stroke lead? And 3 minutes later, it whittles by 2.
Well, he's maintaining it, but he took advantage of some very favorable conditions, and he was the biggest dog of that group of like 8 to 10 golfers that were finishing up yesterday, and actually got suspended. He hit a shot or two to end that hole, but anyway, no, it was done yesterday.
Hour number 2 here at Rufino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
He's out there somewhere in the world. Maybe even your local sports book.
Can anybody help us?
Let's bring in Bruce Marshall.
You know, we've got Father's Day this weekend, room available over here at Rufino's this Sunday, regular menu. So the brunch menu takes a week off on special days like today. Our appetizer features for today, tonight, and all through Father's Day weekend. The beef tips for an appetizer with the house marinade and chimichurri sauce, a smoked Gouda seafood dip with Louisiana shrimp and crawfish. Entree features this weekend the porterhouse, 20-ounce beef porterhouse with the millionaire potatoes, the tasso butter, and asparagus, and the Columbia River salmon, herb-crusted wild Columbia River salmon, with green beans, duck fat, roasted potatoes with a lemon beurre blanc sauce. Also, a week from Tuesday, we have a wine dinner over here. Great job, Chef Patrick. Really loves doing these, and man, it's a lot. It's a lot of food. It's a lot of great wine pairings with them, and really is a great. That's a week from Tuesday. Got plenty of room available for that one as well. Let's go out to Las Vegas. Talk to Bruce Marshall, executive editor, the Gold Sheet, who's now back with the Gold Sheet and been doing it for such a long time. Brucey, World Cup, man, huh? It's got a little momentum, a little excitement in this country with the U.S.'s impressive first performance.
It does. I mean, it really has picked up some speed here. But there's good stories in a lot of spots at the World Cup. U.S. is one of them. But there's a lot of teams that have opened some eyes here, and so far, very so good with this tournament.
Like what stories are you talking about? Fill us in.
Well, you got a number of teams that are just as excited as the U.S. is, and one of the co-hosts. Actually, the other two of the other tri-hosts are Canada and Mexico. Canada is giddy now after that 6-0 over Qatar yesterday. Mexico has clinched its group. I don't know that Mexico's looked all that great, but they've actually clinched that group after just 2 games. But others, Germany put 7. It was only past Curacao, but put 7 goals past Curacao. Sweden, how about that one? Looked so good, caused Tunisia's coach to get fired. Norway, big effort there. Erling Haaland scores, very impressive in their opener. Argentina, of course, the big one with Messi 3 goals. Austria with its nice win in the opener over Jordan. Colombia in a really good win. I thought over Uzbekistan the other day. France, of course, great second half against Senegal. And I think the team and they're really excited in England now because that really impressed me. I thought of all the games in the first round, the one that opened my eyes the most was England. First of all, they beat a quality side, but it was the way they played, and it's the way they played under a new coach. With Thomas Tuchel, it was a lot different England than what we would see in years past with Gareth Southgate. There, this is the sort of LSU with Les Miles example you guys talked about a few weeks ago. They were doing well enough with Miles for all those years. They kept him around, and England had done well enough in recent years with Southgate. But you always got the feeling they were playing with the handbrake on a bit too much. Tuchel looked like he wanted to put Croatia to the sword the other night once he got a lead, and his substitutions reflected that. And they were very aggressive substitutions he made with attack-minded players compared to what Southgate would have sat on that lead in years past, and he would have made more defensive-oriented substitutions. So they're all over the place in this World Cup. There's so many impressive stories, and the U.S. definitely one of them.
Yeah, the U.S. couldn't have been more impressive, but are they any good? How good are they?
We will find out. The one thing I've learned about World Cups in the past, you got to keep your powder dry after the first cycle of games here because things change. That surprised me against Paraguay, though, in a good way. I thought they'd probably win, but I didn't expect 4-1 to happen. But it was just sort of a perfect storm. What happened in that game? All the emotion there. You got an own goal to start the scoring off there that really got you into the groove. Paraguay is not built to play from behind like that. And I mentioned, I think last week, there was a chance Paraguay could make USA look better than it really was. But going forward, there's no question, Balogun is really, I knew what he was doing in Monaco this year in the French League. He was very, very effective there, and he was going to probably be their top scorer in the World Cup. He is a real target man, and Pulisic had an awfully good game until he was pulled from the calf injury. Now, that's something we've got to watch today, if Pulisic is going to be okay, and a lot of scrutiny on that calf injury for the game today against Australia. But they look good. It's just, I still get the feeling a lot of teams look at the U.S. defense and say, I'd like to give it a go against that defense. I think they can be opened up. Paraguay couldn't do that. Australia will be a tougher game today. And Turkey will in the final group match. So we'll find out a lot more. But well done so far. You can't have done much more impressive work than USA did last week against Paraguay.
Bruce, you've been in some of these watch parties around the world for the World Cup, and you shared some pictures with Charlie and I and different stuff. And we're just seeing the Fox coverage starting today. So 2 hours before they're expected to start in Seattle, and it's a massive crowd. It makes sort of ESPN game day on a college football. The bandwagon is raring to fill up. I mean, they got the best possible outcome that they could get in their in their first game last Friday night. What is it compared to other countries that you've been to? And I mean, the U.S. we talk about it all the time. The ride on the way up is always the most fun. The exciting. That's a long drought will create excitement when you finally get on that run, a la the Knicks and stuff like that. But compared to what you're seeing, what's some of the U.S. crowds right now?
Well, it happens every 4 years. Usually, if a host country is any good in the World Cup and doing well, and the hosts usually do perform fairly well. This has happened before, and they're in the town squares turn into huge party things, and it's not just even in the. Where I just was in Switzerland, in Lugano, in the town square, a big TV there, and watching all the. By the way, you could have watched on the local TV there, the cable channels. These games are on like 8 or 9 different channels at once from all over. And Switzerland's got 4 of its own channels in different languages, and then you've got the Italian and the Germany and the French and both English channels, ITV and BBC. So it's the fever is everywhere. It's kind of nice to see it picking up like that in the USA, and if in Canada too is going to really get it. I'll tell you, after that win yesterday, they're going to be going nuts in Vancouver for the game coming up against Switzerland, which will be the winner wins the group, and that's in match day 3 in the group phase. And Canada actually has a chance with a draw to advance as the group winner. So all of a sudden, they're pretty excited up there too.
All right, Brucey, picks, U.S., Australia, or anything else that's upcoming in the World Cup today or the next coming days?
Yeah, today I'd look over, but to 2.5 here, and there's been more overs, especially the last few days in the World Cup. but over here in this matchup today versus Australia, which is a real, it's sort of got a bone to pick. There's some comments made in the past here towards Australia that's got from U.S. connections that has them pretty excited. Watch this, Iram Kunda, the young winger from Watford, actually, in England. He's going to probably move up a level. They will put up pretty good fights. They can score, but USA moving forward looks really, really, really explosive. So I would think they could get over 2.5 goals there. Morocco should beat Scotland today. They are looking up at the Scots in the group. That's mainly because Scotland had that one game versus Haiti, and Morocco played Brazil. You can probably have to lay minus 145, 150 or so just on the three-way money line. But Scotland did not look all that great in the Haiti game. They more shots the other way, more possession the other way. Scott McTominay, their best player, really didn't show up in the opening game for Scotland. Morocco had the best of it for much of the opening 1-1 draw versus Brazil, although Hakimi, their star defender, has a little off-field problem. It's not going to prevent him from playing today, but Morocco's maybe the best side in Africa, so I would probably look at that one too. I'm kind of waiting to see Brazil switch gears. If you played Brazil, you'd have to probably play it on the spread today. Minus 2.5 goals are a huge favorite over Haiti. I did think the goal of the first round was Vinicius' goal that got Brazil back even and level with Morocco on last Saturday. His club coach, his former club coach, Carlo Ancelotti, won Champions Leagues with Vinicius at Real Madrid. Now he's coaching country in Brazil. He knows how to get the most out of Vinicius. I think they will extend the margin on Haiti tonight. Turkey-Paraguay I'm having a little trouble with because Turkey was very disappointing in the Australia game. I think they should be able to beat Paraguay. Turkey's the slight favorite in this game, being played up at the 49ers Stadium. That's the late one tonight.
All right, Bruce.
Yeah.
To the NBA, and a lot of these the point counterpoint shows that I like to talk about it all the time, compare generations. We lean on you for this. What does this Knicks run remind you of? I mean, they did have an easier path, but they were dominant after the first 3 games. The other and the point of victory, the comebacks in this series. I mean, San Antonio's got 14-point leads in every loss that they had of the 4 final games. Yep. And then you got the individual stuff as far as Brunson. And Brunson, when they talk about most clutch, my goodness, he's an all-timer to me as far as all clutch. But, Walt Frazier won 2, Willis Reed or whoever. As far as the Knicks greats, they wanted some of the older folks wanted to see him get a title first. But put this thing in its historical perspective and comparisons for this Knicks championship.
A little bit to me that when Dallas won it that year, what was it, 2011, when everything just sort of came together for Dallas late that season. They swept the Lakers out before they got to the finals and then took care of Miami when they were, slight underdog going into the final. Maybe that a little bit, sort of a veteran sort of a team that sort of put it all together. The mention of Dallas is interesting because, you realize Dallas had, Jalen Brunson and Luka on the team a couple of years ago, and they let both of those guys go. So, no wonder Nico Harrison doesn't have his job there anymore. But that's what it sort of reminds me of. The really interesting thing in Brunson, that was a historic performance. And when we talked last Friday, we mentioned that I thought the Knicks might have some trouble in that game because Cat had kind of slowed down, and sure enough, he didn't do much at all. More foul trouble in Game 5. But for a guy to score almost half your points in the final game is really almost unprecedented. So, he had one of the great, playoff runs I can ever remember. But it's also 8 different champs in 8 straight years here for the NBA, and for a league that's often had, teams win multiples and bunching them together for as long as I can live. This is kind of unique, the way I think it's kind of good. Different teams every year have won in the NBA. Let's see if the Knicks go back-to-back next year. Well, we'll worry about that next year, but I think that's a nice trend, the NBA, and unexpected, but I think it's good for the league.
Yeah, Charlie, I would say go ahead.
Yeah, anything to the idea that the team I think about is the 83 Sixers. And the reason is everybody was in their prime except for probably Andrew Toney. He was a little bit younger. But they were a one-time champion because Boston and L.A. were clearly better than them for the rest of the decade. And I think this is going to be one championship for the Knicks. They blew through the playoffs kind of like Philly did. And, the bulk of this roster, they're all in their prime, but they're all about to be in the back end of their prime. And Philly aged really quickly after that. Doc and Cheeks and Moses Malone. And that's what I think is going to happen to this Knicks. You'll look at this as a terrific standalone champion that everything came together right for. I actually like your Dallas example better, Bruce, but that was the team that came to my mind, was the 83 Sixers.
We talk about the Pistons, and they're kind of, not a superstar.
The 04 team.
On that team that won 4-1 against the Lakers after dropping the first. They won 4. That was a 2-3-2 format back then, split in L.A., and then they won all 3, and it got worse and worse. Bruce mentions Dallas. Bruce, what about the path? I mean, because even the finals, I mean, as good as San Antonio is, but those guys, I mean, they had zero playoff seasoning. The only guy on the roster that had any type of playoff experience before this run was Fox, and he exhibited the worst basketball IQ on the floor of anybody during this tournament.
Well, you're right. I mean, as far as the playoff run goes, I mean, the 83 Sixers come to mind. Although, remember, that team was that whole season they were dominant. I think they were 66-16.
They were great.
They were great.
So, but
what seed were they, Bruce, that year?
Because of the analogy is proper because where those guys were at in their careers. I mean, that was everything sort of peaked at that one point. But that one, and then the second championship with the Lakers, which would have been 2001, the one they beat the Nets. They beat the Sixers, the one they only lost one playoff game the whole year. Those are the only playoff runs that I can recall somewhat comparable to the Knicks. I guess the Knicks actually lost. You've got to count those games against the Hawks that they lost. But once they got going, I mean, they were destroying everybody on the way, and then the comebacks against San Antonio. This is really kind of unique, but you're right. It's some of those teams that come together that one run, whether it be the Sixers that year or Dallas. I thought Dallas was good because the way the season sort of sequenced, but the Sixers are a proper analogy too.
Sixers were expected to make a run that year, though. Yeah. I mean, this is the preseason odds. We talked about 7.5 to win it all. The Knicks, and at the end of the regular season before the playoffs started, it's 22-1. So they had a disappointing. I mean, they couldn't win the division with Tatum being out for 80% of the season, whatever it was. What were the Pistons' seed that year they beat the Lakers 4-1? Bruce, do you recall?
Good. I mean, they were right near the top of the East, and I will check that out as well. No, although that Pistons side was good for a few years. I mean, they got back to the finals the next year against San Antonio, so they darn near did 2 in a row.
They were the third seed in the East.
So Detroit was the third seed that year too.
Okay,
third seed. Okay, yeah. They might have actually had a better season the next year, The other one sort of is a little bit, the Golden State, the first one, the one with Rick Barry, although their playoffs were not easy until and even though they swept the Bullets in the final, they had a couple, those games were 1-point games. But that whole thing about a team all just coming together at that 1 point and for a portion of one season and doing it right at the end, the Knicks are in, that's a pretty select group that the Knicks joined with that sort of a playoff run.
Very good, Bruce. Great stuff as always, buddy. Good luck to you this weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, have fun, guys. Thanks.
All right, don't forget our friends over at Total Maintenance. When your AC needs repair, wouldn't it be nice to know the job is covered for life? Call Total Maintenance at 480-0007 and ask about our lifetime warranty on all repair work. That's right, peace of mind long after the technician leaves your home. It's a Total Maintenance way. 480-0007. You got to inquire about our elite membership plans as well. You've got service 2 times a year, 50% off diagnostics, 15% off all repairs. All repairs come with a 3-year warranty, and half of your $39.95 goes to credit. and we call it TM Bucks, Total Maintenance Bucks. You sign up for the Elite Membership Band, you start off with $200 TM Bucks to start things off. And then when something needs to be replaced, any type of equipment that you need, that credit goes right to it. So it's building up. And so it's the best of everything. So we're going to alert you when it's time for your semi-annual service appointment. That's going to keep it clean. That's going to be running efficiently. That's going to keep your monthly bills lower. And it's also going to help you avoid some breakdowns. Not just costly, but inconvenient right now. Could you imagine waking up, man, and the AC's not working right now? Total maintenance for their Elite Membership Plan. Sign up today. That is 480-0007, 480-0007, and tm-ac.com.
Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch with Odd and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And return here at Rufino's. We're also brought to you by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. You know, when you are having that neck pain, the back pain, that discomfort that keeps you from moving around as well as you'd like, or maybe keeping you from getting a good night's sleep, let them help you out at Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, getting you adjusted, getting you into a program of exercise and stretches that'll loosen things up. Or if you need a dry needle or electric nerve stimulation, cryo, or ultrasound therapy, they're going to target your problem areas and they're going to get you to feeling better. They've done it for us many, many times. Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla, Dr. Michael Goff and company there. Wyndham Clark with a birdie at 18 finishes his round 1 under 69. He is your leader in the clubhouse at the U.S. Open at 7 under par. Finished up at 64 yesterday with the favorable conditions with a solid round today, more than solid round today, 69. There are only 11 golfers that are in red numbers, and 6 of them have yet to tee off today. Matt Fitzpatrick with a run late. He birdied 2 of the last 3 holes to finish at even par 70. So he's 3 under for the golf tournament, 4 back of the leader, Wyndham Clark. Xander Schauffele is also 4 back at 3 under par. He's 4 under for the day. He is on 18 right now, so he is about to finish up his round. Colin Morikawa shot the round of the day so far, 65. He is in at 2 under par for the tournament, 5 shots back. Sam Stevens is also 2 under, 5 shots back. He tees off. In fact, he just teed off, so we'll have some results on him. And then among the group at 1 under par, it includes Roy McIlroy. He tees off right when we finish the show today at 1 o'clock. He shot 69 yesterday, as did Ludwig Ahlberg. Sam Burns going here in about 30 minutes. He was 1 over yesterday. He played in the morning. That was a big, big disadvantage yesterday. So that's what's going on at the U.S. Open. As we're watching these really kind of stunning shots from L.A. With the outside the
Seattle.
I'm sorry, Seattle.
Yeah,
LA.
they're going L.A.
Seattle,
L.A. Seattle, L.A. Yeah.
The crowd just unbelievable. Yeah. What we're seeing outside Lumen Stadium.
You know, I mean those are soccer friendly, I guess, areas. You know, in Seattle and L.A. And they're dying for them to be any good. It's you even. Casual soccer fans at best, us kind of identify with it. And, it
feels like the Olympics, doesn't it?
It's a cultural. Yeah.
Things we're ordinarily not interested in, but we don't watch gymnastics the way we watch it in the Olympics, or even the hockey in the Olympics.
I would say it's a little bit better than the Olympics in a sense, because it's just one team tournament. A team.
Okay.
The individual, I don't, this individual things are so, I mean, we know that what's going on in the Premier League to a degree. You know what's going on here. And, the soccer it is growing in this country. There are more kids that are playing soccer than before. If our kids are playing or interested in it, we're forced to kind of watch, pay attention to it a little bit more. There's more. I mean, I know way more about what's going on in soccer than 20 years ago. I mean, way more. What?
A ton. And I actually went to a World Cup soccer match in '94 when it was here in Dallas. But I didn't, I just went to say I went. Okay.
I would like to go, but not at $800 a pop.
No,
and not even seeing your own country, and so. But
I think I got a free ticket, honestly, or maybe the friends I was with.
You would know if you paid for it. You got a free ticket.
If I paid for it, it wasn't very much, and it wasn't a United States match, but it was just, hey, I want to go say I went to a World Cup soccer match.
This FIFA's got a monster. They hijacked the host, the sponsorships, the television part of it. I mean, it's almost Masters Light. On how they, I mean, Charlie, there's no what tournament that you know of that there's no competing games. I mean, the NFL playoffs, but what is that? That's
12 games,
11. You know, I mean, or whatever it is now. So 13 games. I mean, it's. I mean, even the NBA will cross over a little bit in the early rounds, but this is a tournament that goes on for how many? It's got 48 teams. Everything is a standalone game, and not only that, but they're starting at 11 a.m. our time. It's in the last game's 11 p.m. Well, why are they doing that? Because they have in between every game they have an hour studio show. I mean, so they are milking this. I mean, they're giving avails. I mean, and it's also in. For our country, it's in a sport light part of the year.
Barren. I mean, the NBA Finals are over. The College World Series is minor league compared to this stuff.
Too,
NHL is over. All of that's done. And look, you're in the business, Jimmy. They can't play commercials during regular time. So these big blocks, I mean, they've got to clear the commercial inventory so they can pay for all of this. We certainly understand that. And you can't play a commercial really while the match is going on.
The way the hydration has, opened,
that's helped.
The hydration breaks have opened up some more advertising inventory. That's for the Fox. They're not doing it on Telemundo, but they could be playing in ice on the next one. They go take hydration breaks. That's done. You can put that. I mean, what are you going to do? You going to turn the channel? You can wait.
Sure. I mean, we're used to waiting a lot more.
Oh, right? Wait. Pulisic is out.
Oh no.
Oh, so that's breaking right now. Fox is reporting now.
Okay. Well, that's kind of a big deal.
It's their best player.
Luckily, we have a soccer expert coming on next.
Yeah. We can ask Nigel about that, and of course I talked to him about his trip as well. But this guy is as traveled as anybody. I mean, he was back to Qatar, back and forth, or as my favorite, what's the girl's name in the Fox? Jules Breach, Qatar. It's the way she says it is just great. Qatar, yes indeed. I'm in. So, but yeah, that's. I mean, they were keeping him out of team practices, prioritizing on his recovery. Everything was a go. Bruce Marshall.
That was 90 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, Bruce looks good and everything. And now he has been ruled out for the match today. Man, it's a big one against a good team.
Went to warm up, and I guess something. It's a calf injury. I don't know, something tightened up on him. We'll see in a second.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like they're rushing back a day after. I mean, this was a week ago.
Yeah,
where he injured it, and they pulled him out for the second half.
Hey, let's ask somebody who knows more than us.
Yeah, we can do that. Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact our great team of bankers: Prentice Wilkes, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry. Stop on by and discuss how we can help your business today with our great team of bankers. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And we return here at Rufino's live at lunch. Getting hooked up with our.
We had a little international call issues, so Jordan, be on the lookout for Nigel trying to call us right now. So I don't know how we did it last time, but I thought we dialed it out last time. Anyway,
Give him Bruce's phone. Bruce calls us from like Neptune and stuff.
I don't think Bruce has. I think Bruce has an American provider.
He
though.
does.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah. So anyway, Wyndham Clark is in the clubhouse. Charlie, looking good, huh?
He made a very nice birdie putt from about 15 feet or so to close it out at 18. 69 today is one of trying to see how many people in the clubhouse under par. About 5 or 6 is all that have got in today. I'll tell you one of the funny stories. Your favorite Chilean golfer? Is that
Joaquin Neiman?
Yeah. So Joaquin Neiman was playing the end of his first round this morning because he didn't finish yesterday. He got into some fire ants.
Okay.
Right? And the fire ants are on the ball, so he's asking for relief, and they're not giving him the relief. So he took his club and he flung it at the hole. The club flew 50 yards. 50 yards if you like vacation. Anyway, he comes back. He shoots an 11 on that hole, 78 for the first round. Comes back and shoots 65 in the afternoon.
Let's go live to Boston right now where, again, our buddy Nigel Seeley from Bet Rivers and Bet Weekly is getting ready for the Morocco-Scotland. The reports are that Scotland's already drank the town out of Samuel Adams, Nigel. So the work is done to a degree. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, Jimmy. How are you? I'm very disappointed because we drunk Texas dry, and I've come to Boston and there's no beer here. I don't know. I'm not very happy about that.
Well, I saw some of your videos of the Texas heat, huh? It's a real deal this time of the year.
Yeah, well, it wasn't very wise of me to decide to walk 45 minutes from the stadium back to my hotel, and the 45-minute walk was. Usually if you're in the UK or Europe, you put in a 45-minute walk into your app and it takes you through a nice park or through some nice kind of like pavements or sidewalk walks. This was over freeways in the hard shoulders, in excessive heat. And I saw a gasoline station in the distance. It was like being in the desert and seeing a bit of water. And I managed to get a bottle of water and survive the heat. But there was people looking at me out the window and they were shouting out at me, "Are you serious, man? Are you crazy?" I was looking at English. Bright red face, walking in that excessive heat for 45 minutes. I'll never do it again, Jimmy.
And then you tackled that Bronco, huh? The mechanical Bronco or something. I mean,
that was a bit of a tough one. That was on level 2 as well.
I think those are made for toddlers outside the grocery stores. So anyway, we have, but Nigel, you travel so much, but we haven't hosted this in quite some time, and we are enjoying some of the visitors to our country and some of the things that we take for granted, how they're just kind of soaking it up for, whether it's Walmart, Costco, Buc-ee's, just the different things that they're taking in. So we've enjoyed it. Why do you think there's been a little bit of this sort of fascination element with the visitors to our country?
Well, I think the thing is that most people who come to America, like me in particular, I've been to America over 25 times, Jimmy, but I've never gone outside New York, Florida for like Disney or Las Vegas. So for me to go to the stockyards is something that's like completely out of my remit. I've never seen anything like it. And for the people down there in Texas to see 250 English fans at 11 o'clock in the morning singing Sweet Caroline and drinking beer is something they've never seen. But everyone was friendly, the atmosphere was superb, and you're seeing different cultures and different walks of life. But isn't that lovely? I mean, the world we live in at the moment,
yes.
It's not and I think sport is one of the only things that can do that. Major tournaments, major sporting events can bring people together and make them celebrate. And I think everybody's coming here, enjoying the football, enjoying the weather, enjoying the hospitality. And we've all paid a lot of money to get here, by the way. The ticket price was expensive. The travel was, the airlines was expensive. The accommodation is expensive. So when you've got it, you've got to have fun, haven't you? And you've got to enjoy it because it's a once-in-a-lifetime moment.
You better. You're right. But, speaking of the heat, well, listen, we're on the flip side, okay? And when I saw you in Nice and I was at Monte Carlo the first day, I lasted about 30 minutes before I went to the merch store and got me a coat. Not a pullover, but a coat, the heaviest thing they had. I mean, I was freezing.
And that was a hot day for France.
If you say so. If you say so, man. So we can't handle it just the other way. We got breaking news, and we hope here in the U.S. that this soccer team is for real. They couldn't have looked any better in their opening match last Friday night. But Pulisic kind of such a key to this thing. He's the constant, and he has been ruled out just minutes ago. Your thoughts on that news?
Well, I mean, let's be fair. I mean, the USA should win this match. They were very impressive in the first match. They have, they've now been sort of everyone expects them to win, but I think that's a tactical decision. Obviously, it's fitness. You look like you're going to get into knockout stages, and you want to keep your best players fit. You don't want to risk them in this game. But there's other players who can play, who can step up now. This US men's side have got players that play all across Europe in some of the big leagues. 6 of them play in the English Premier League. Players who play in France. And you've got a kid in Balogun who started off as hot as the heat in Texas. So you've got a boy there that's got something to prove. I think it's a bit of a blow, but I don't think it's too much of a blow. I think the atmosphere today, the nation getting behind them, the momentum the team is having coming into this tournament and it continuing this tournament. And World Cups are all about squads. There's 24 guys there. There's not just one, there's 24. And you've got a deep squad now. If this was from the USA 8 years ago or 10 years ago and you lost your key player, it would make a huge impact. But Pulisic is your main player, but you've got capable players to step in. And I still think they'll win today. What is
what have you had with the trends? You had the one day with the draws, and people parlayed that, and some fortunate folks hit that. You had like sort of the headliners day and a half, where Haaland, Mbappe, Messi, Kane all just having multiple goals. What have you seen as far as the betting trends of the World Cup early on?
Well, all the big players have stepped up to the plate, apart from one player, and that's Cristiano Ronaldo. We haven't seen anything from Cristiano Ronaldo yet, so we need to see what he can do. Neymar hasn't started for Brazil, but the big trend really is goals. We never expected. We thought it'd be a tournament with fewer goals because of the drinks breaks, the rehydration breaks every 22.5 minutes, which I'm still not, as a traditional soccer fan, I'm not happy about, but, it is what it is. So I thought that would stop the gameplay, which would mean goals would be low. We've seen a lot of overs on the goals. We've had 26 matches in this World Cup. 19 of the 26 have seen both teams to score. So that's been the trend. Goals are high, both teams are scoring, and the big players are coming out to play. So we've got some trends there. And I think that will continue today. I think both teams will score in this USA game. The one thing I would say, the weakest part of the USA side is the goalkeeper. I'm not convinced by the goalkeeper. He doesn't play in European level. He's the only goalkeeper that's ever represented Brazil from the USA from the MLS. I still think he's the weakest link. I think Australia are very good physically from corners and set pieces. So I still think goals today, and I think that trend will continue. Both teams to score. And it's 19-7. Both teams have scored yes, and both teams have scored no. And it's around about evens is the odds. And it's happened 19 out of 26 times, which is a lot higher percentage than the 50% you're getting at around about even. So both teams are scoring lots of goals.
And I think the underdogs scoring as well has been massive, profitable as well. With this 19-7 trend right now, have they adjusted the odds, or are you still getting value out, Nigel?
You're still getting value. I mean, it's minus 105 for both teams to score yesterday in the USA game. I think that's the bet. I think over 2.5 goals will come in. I think both teams will score. I think America will win. I mean, Bet Rivers have got a parlay today. You've got Team USA to win on the money line. You have over 2.5 goals in the game, and you have Balogun to score. And they boosted it to plus 450. I think that's a really, really nice bet.
All right, plus 450 boosted at Bet Rivers. Futures from early impressions, how is it going according to your expectations and maybe some in-tournament future considerations?
Well, I think there's 10 teams that can realistically win this World Cup. I genuinely think there's 10 teams to win it. We haven't seen Spain. We haven't seen play performance. We haven't seen Portugal performance. We think Spain will bounce back. France, I think, were brilliant in the second half. England was superb. Morocco are playing against Scotland. I'm heading there now to go to watch that game. I think they're the dark horse of the tour. Morocco. I was really, really impressed with them against Brazil. You've got a Brazilian side that needs to improve, and you have a Messi that is doing it again at his age with a hat-trick for Argentina. So you've got all these sides who've got the capabilities to win it. I think it's the most open World Cup we've ever seen. But, Jimmy, it's coming home.
All right. So we need to get you back over here in South Louisiana too to eat some crawfish. Maybe go to an SEC football game with 100,000 in the stands as well. Do some tailgating, but also get you on a alligator wrestling sort of tour.
Oh, I am the best alligator wrestler the UK has ever seen. If you think I'm good at the rodeo, you should see my alligator wrestling. It's much better.
The one trip, man. Take me back to that Oasis reunion tour that you guys went to, man. That looked awesome, huh?
Yeah, it was incredible. Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to see him at Wembley, and I'm 53 next week, Jimmy. So I grew up watching them play. So I went to see them in New York. It was absolutely incredible. But the one thing I noticed in the MetLife, the decibels are much louder because in Wembley we have so many houses they can't play it loud. But as soon as they hit that first note, the sound was incredible. We had such a good time. As you can tell, I've been singing a bit of Oasis in the last few days down at Fort Worth, and I'm losing my voice a little bit. So I need to practice it tonight because I'm going to be out with the Scottish tonight, singing a few the Flower of Scotland's and various different Scottish now. And a bit of Rod Stewart, I think, might be sung tonight. I think so. We'll see how we go.
Well, I know one thing. When you were making it back to your hotel and walking down those Texas freeways, okay, I think your stance on hydration breaks were a little bit different at that time. I don't think it was a traditional take at that time, huh?
Exactly. I think before I'd done that walk, I think I had a few nice beers to celebrate England's win, and then to take the walk in that heat with a few ice beers was probably not the best thing to do. But you always say in life you learn from your mistakes, and I certainly learned from that one.
Well, we certainly hope that you are treated. I think that most places, when you open your mouth and they know where you're visiting, that you will get warm reception. So it seems like for the most part, soccer, sports as a unifier for the people around the world. I know you're having a great time. I know you love it. Enjoy the game today, man. We appreciate you taking time from our space. Tell our listeners again where to find your stuff, Nigel.
Yeah, you can follow me on socials at _Nigel, _Seeley Nigel on Twitter, Instagram at Nigel Seeley, and obviously follow us on YouTube, the Betting Weekly Studios, which I host with a lot of stuff doing soccer and tennis content. So all the best World Cup coverage will be available on YouTube, on the Betting Weekly Studios, and on our Twitter account at Because We Win.
Yes, indeed. Have one for us, brother. Enjoy yourself, man. Safe travels.
I'll catch up with you soon, mate. Keep up the good work, mate. Take care.
Yes, indeed. Nigel Seeley checking in with us from Boston, fresh from Dallas, Texas.
I could listen to that dude all day.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm learning something about soccer, but if he comes here, I got to have him on the post-game show with me.
So I met with he and his wife in Nice, and Nice is on the coast of France, and it's about a 25-minute drive to Monte Carlo, Monaco, where the tennis tournament was. And, his wife, they plan out his travel schedule for the entire year, and she picks half the ones she wants to go to.
That's a good deal.
That's a good deal.
That's a good deal. Yeah.
Yes, but he does. He's got a really, really good following on their Betting Weekly that Bet Rivers and guys like Max produce and things like that. So it's just kind of and I thought that was pretty cool for us to kind of share and kind of. I've been on his show. He's been on ours, and so it's. So far, it's good reports on the U.S. being as a host, huh?
Absolutely, it's thankfully non-political, which could upend this stuff. So that's been great. And a quick update: he was talking about that parlay at Bet Rivers. He said plus 450. It's now up to plus 510.
Oh, really?
Just checking that to see it. It's the U.S. to the full-time win, over 2.5 goals, and Malik Tillman to score for the U.S. So plus 510.
Back here at Ruffino's, where we got room for Father's Day. Father's Day this weekend. Our regular menu will be in effect all day long. No brunch menu items this weekend for the special occasion. Live at lunch, live at Ruffino's, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch with Odd and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Final update from us for the U.S. Open. Wyndham Clark, 7 under par, shot 69 today. He's got a 4-stroke lead over Xander Schauffele and Matt Fitzpatrick, who both are in the clubhouse at 3 under par. Schauffele shot 66 today. Fitzpatrick with a phenomenal play at 18, finished at 70. Colin Morikawa, the low round of the day so far, 65. He is 2 under for the tournament, 5 strokes back. And Sam Stevens is off. He has played 2 holes. He's 2 under par. Justin Thomas shot 68 today, 1 under par for the tournament, so he's right there. Rory McIlroy and Ludwig Ahlberg about to tee off here right as we finish the show. And Sam Burns is away here to start his second round. He starts today at 1 over par. So we'll see if Sammy's got a run in him yesterday. It was a nice round, except he had to play in the morning.
No, I mean, when you got, it's, look, 7 under is way, way better than, it was like 1.5, 2.5 was the over-under winning score?
Yeah.
If Wyndham Clark and, he's pacing well above that. And
if they offered him 70-70 for the weekend, he'd take it right now and take 7
the way it was, man. They played till 8:30 local time last night. Yeah. The conditions, and no matter what the announcers were trying to sell us on, that it was just an unfair playing field. And this is what when they complain about the course, the conditions, or they say it's too easy, whatever. It's like that for everybody. This is the deal where it's not, where that wind can shift, and that wind is. It just nobody's going to have the type of scoring opportunity that Wyndham Clark did. Now there were others that playing same time that Wyndham Clark did. about 20 of them, and he made the most of it.
And he came back today with another
yes,
solid,
the follow-up
round.
Was really, really impressive today.
Thanks to our friends here at Rufino's for hosting us every Friday.
Spieth's is safe.
Monday, we will be across the street at Chris's Specialty Foods. Have a great weekend, everybody. For Jimmy Jordan back in the studio, I'm Charles Sandigrove saying thank you. Good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.